Hello, my dear friends. Today, I have brought you a very interesting story. It's actually the story of a book, one that many people call a money-making book. I have personally read it, and in this video, I will share what it's all about and what you will find inside. So make sure to watch the video till the end. Rich Dad, Poor Dad is not just a book about money. It's a book about how we think about money. Written by Robert T. Kiyosaki, the book tells the story of the author's two dads. His biological father, whom he calls his poor dad, and the father of his childhood best friend, whom he calls his rich dad. These two men shaped his views on money and investing in very different ways. One was highly educated and worked hard for a paycheck all his life, yet struggled financially. The other had less formal education but was financially intelligent, building wealth through smart decisions and investments. At its core, the book is a powerful comparison between the mindset of the rich and the mindset of the poor or middle class. It does not aim to insult anyone, but instead encourages readers to reflect on how they view money, work, education, and opportunity. The book challenges traditional beliefs such as the idea that getting a good job and saving money is the only path to success. It's a wake-up call for those who want to gain financial independence and build a secure future. One of the most important lessons in Rich Dad, Poor Dad is the difference between assets and liabilities. According to Robert, the rich focus on buying assets, things that put money into their pockets, while the poor and middle class often buy liabilities, thinking they are assets. For example, buying an expensive car or a large house may seem like a good investment, but if it takes money out of your pocket every month, it's actually a liability. An asset, on the other hand, could be something like a rental property, a business, or even stocks, things that generate income or grow in value over time. The key idea is this: if you want to be financially free, you need to increase your assets and reduce your liabilities. This simple lesson is often overlooked, even though it can completely change someone's financial future. Another central theme in the book is financial education. Robert argues that schools teach us how to read, write, and solve math problems, but they rarely teach us how to manage money. As a result, many people grow up knowing how to earn a paycheck, but not how to make money work for them. This is what happened to his poor dad, who followed the traditional path of working hard, saving, and relying on job security, but never achieved true financial freedom. Rich Dad, on the other hand, taught Robert the importance of learning how money works. He encouraged him to read books, attend seminars, and learn from real-world experience. He believed in learning how to invest, how to understand taxes, how to start a business, and how to make smart financial decisions. This kind of knowledge is what sets the wealthy apart, not just the amount of money they have, but how they think about it and use it. Robert Kiyosaki also talks about the importance of gaining skills, not just working for a paycheck. In his youth, he worked at different jobs not because he needed the money, but because he wanted to learn. For example, he worked for free at his rich dad's stores to understand how businesses run. He learned about sales, marketing, accounting, and people management. He understood that these skills were more valuable than any salary he could earn. The lesson here is simple but powerful. Don't just work for money, work to learn. The more skills you have, the more valuable you become. This mindset encourages people to step outside their comfort zone, try new things, and focus on long-term growth rather than short-term earnings. The book also promotes the idea of becoming an entrepreneur. While it doesn't say everyone needs to start their own business, it does encourage readers to think like business owners. When you own a business or an investment, your money works for you, even when you're sleeping. This is very different from being an employee where you trade your time for money. Robert's rich dad believed in creating systems that generate income. Whether it was through investing in real estate, building a company, or buying assets that increase in value, he focused on financial freedom, not just financial comfort. The goal wasn't just to have more money, but to have more time and freedom to live life on his own terms. One of the most inspiring parts of Rich Dad, Poor Dad is how it talks about fear. Many people are afraid of losing money or failing, so they never take risks. They stay in jobs they don't love or avoid learning about investments because it seems too complicated. Robert Kiyosaki explains that fear is natural, but it shouldn't stop us from growing. He encourages people to take smart risks, learn from their failures, and keep moving forward. Making mistakes is part of learning, especially in the world of money. His rich dad didn't avoid failure, he used it as a tool to become wiser and stronger. The key is not to let fear control your decisions. A powerful idea in the book is mind your own business. This doesn't mean ignore others. It means focus on building your own financial future. Most people spend their lives working for someone else's business. Whether it's a large company or a government job, they are helping someone else build wealth. Robert encourages readers to start building their own business or portfolio of assets, even while working a regular job. This mindset shift helps people start thinking long-term. Whether it's starting a small online business, investing in rental properties, or creating digital products, the goal is to create income streams that don't rely solely on your time and effort. Another valuable lesson from the book is the habit of paying yourself first. Many people earn money and immediately spend it on bills, rent, or entertainment. But Robert suggests doing the opposite. Set aside money for your future before you pay your bills. This forces you to become creative, disciplined, and resourceful in managing your expenses. When you pay yourself first, you are building wealth for the long term. This could mean saving for an investment, building an emergency fund, or buying something that will grow in value. It's a small habit that can have a big impact. Rich Dad, Poor Dad also explains how the wealthy use the tax system to their advantage. They understand the laws, work with financial experts, and structure their money in ways that legally reduce their tax burden. For example, businesses can deduct expenses before paying taxes, while employees are taxed before they even receive their paycheck. This doesn't mean the rich are cheating the system, it means they understand it better. Robert encourages readers to learn about taxes, legal strategies, and the benefits of owning assets instead of just earning a salary. Finally, one of the biggest messages in Rich Dad, Poor Dad is take action. Reading books and gaining knowledge is important, but real growth happens when you apply what you learn. Robert Kiyosaki says that ideas are everywhere, but action is what separates dreamers from doers. He encourages people to start small. Maybe read a book on investing. Take an online course, talk to a mentor, start a side hustle, invest a small amount of money to learn. The journey to financial freedom begins with one step, but you have to take it. Rich Dad, Poor Dad is not about getting rich overnight. It's about changing the way we think about money. It teaches us that wealth is not about working harder. It's about working smarter. It's about taking control of your financial future, learning from experience, and being brave enough to step outside the traditional path. For young people, students, professionals, and even older adults, this book offers valuable life lessons. It teaches responsibility, encourages curiosity, and empowers people to build the life they want. Whether you want to become an investor, start a business, or simply gain more control over your money, the ideas in this book can guide you. If this story inspired you, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to the channel for more amazing stories.